Next, we'll dive deeper into table navigation. You can see here I'm currently cloning a logistics employee. As a logistics employee, I may need to navigate to tables such as load sheets or invoices. I'll go ahead and head to the invoices table. The easiest way to do that is to type the word invoices into the universal search bar and click on invoices in the tables section. Now we're on the invoices table. All tables default to show 25 records. You can scroll to the bottom and see we're currently showing 25 records. You can expand the number of records that are displayed in increments of 50 to 100 to 200 and then all the way up to 5,000. We'll go ahead and display 5,000 records just to show what that looks like. You can see now our table is considerably longer, and if we scroll to the bottom, we may have even more records, or we may be showing all of the records. At the top, we have what are called columns. These columns are set here by default when you head to the table for the first time. We can adjust the columns that are displayed a number of ways. The first way is by clicking on the column header. We can either remove this from view. We can also drag and drop the column. So for instance, if I wanted invoice number all the way on the left-hand side, I could grab the column invoice number and drag it over here to the left-hand side. Now we'll notice that our invoice number will display first, followed by the invoice ID. Next, let's talk about filtering. We can filter any of these columns, again by clicking on the column header. Let's filter our date column. Let's only look at invoices from a specific day. I've clicked on the date, and now I will click on the little calendar icon right here, and I will choose today. I'll press go, and now you can see our invoices are only filtered to the ones from today. However, you'll notice that there's another filter on the table, and you can tell that by this little icon underneath the header. You can see here our date one has one because we just filtered this column, but we also have a default filter on the time updated. Some tables do have default filters, and this is just to help with the data integrity and not show too many records that maybe aren't needed. To adjust this, we'll click on the column header again. But in this instance, we can see that we have a greater than sign. So we're looking at things that were adjusted greater than 811. Let's go ahead and look at things that were adjusted less than 813, which is in the future, aka let's look at everything that's been updated. You can use the greater than, less than, or equal to filters on any numeric columns. In addition to numeric values, you can also filter based on characters. For instance, if we click on the customer column header and we type in the word green with an asterisk in front of it, this is called a wildcard search. You can see right off the bat we can select from customers with green in their name, or we can not select anything and just press go. As mentioned, we've now performed a wildcard search on any customer in this table view with the filters that we have applied with the word green in their name. You can do this with any type of word or portion of a word. You can also do this with multiple keywords. For instance, if you had another word right after green, you could type in the next word. You can see there we didn't get any results, but if we type in green, we can see the customers. We can choose the one we wanted and see if that returns any results. As mentioned, these are the default columns for this table. If we wanted to add more columns, we can scroll up to the left-hand corner of this table and click on the columns button. Next, we can choose the columns that we want to display in addition to the ones that we're already looking at. For the invoices table, some pertinent columns, maybe things like PO number. Additionally, we could do something like memo. And if we press create view, we can now see any PO number that may be associated with these invoices, along with the memo that's associated with this invoice. If there were additional columns that we wanted to add, but aren't listed here in the additional columns section, we have one more place that we can look, and we can press this button, Add Columns. By pressing Add Columns, now we can see the full list of options that we have to add in for this table view. So for instance, in this example, as a logistics employee, maybe I want to add in the route name of the route that these invoices are on. I could open up my Load Sheets folder and scroll down to find the route. I'll click on the route box and press select. We can see route is now added to our columns. But let's say we also wanted to make sure that route was listed as the first thing. We could drag and drop the word route over here to the first sequence in our list and press create view. And now we'll see the route name is listed here in the first column. If this was something that we were going to reference all the time, a table view that we had customized, maybe with a few less filters, for instance, let's take out the date filter. We'll click on the column headers again and remove the filter that we have applied. Next, we'll go ahead and scroll in this bar right here, all the way to the right, and we'll look for this Save Report button. Go ahead and click Save Report and type in a helpful name for this report. So we can do Invoices Table View. This way we can access this table view without adding all of these additional columns every single time we want to look at it. Categories will help organize your saved reports like folders. So if you wanted to save all your table views in a table view category, you could type the word table view right here, and the next time that you saved something, you would have this available as an option in the checkbox. I'm going to go ahead and press save. And now our report will save. And if we head to our saved reports over here in our category bar, or using our universal search bar, we can type the name of the report that we just saved. So we named that Invoices Table View. And you can see if I typed in Invoice Table, we see our saved report section on Invoices Table View. We'll click on that report and it will run. Keep in mind, we do have 5,000 records displaying on this report, so the heft is pretty large. I would recommend sticking with 100 to 200 and using the options at the bottom to display more. Alternatively to saving, you can also export this data using the export button. Click on the export button and you'll see a list of options. I typically recommend the CSV version. That way you can get all of the records even if they aren't all displayed in your table view. Keep in mind, if you do export to Excel, it is only going to display the number of records that you have showing on the screen. Lastly, if you want to share this internally, you can just copy the URL and share the URL with a coworker through something like Slack. They can pop the URL into their browser and they will then be seeing the same table view that you've already built. No need for them to build out a table view with the additional columns.